end of 2024, my sister and I decided to do the Comrades together. A friend of mine had given me these two Bible verses that were engraved, Ephesians 4 verse 13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and then the other one was Isaiah 40 verse 31, she will run and not grow weary. Yeah, everything went pretty smoothly. I took all my nutrition with me, which was 32 GI tablets, and I'd been training with those and they'd been working for me.
Well done, well done, well done.
So we managed to see her camber down and then to Drummond. And at Drummond you were still fine, but I think between Drummond and when I saw her the next time, which was in Pinetown, just the bottom of Gracefields, somewhere along the line there she had stopped drinking because of the funny tasting water. And as a result of not drinking, not taking you're supposed to take one of those 32 GIs every hour, and I think she skipped a bunch of them.
I don't think I remember much from Gracefields on. So I was obviously not feeling great from then, and then I just carried on going. Training-wise,
legs-wise, all that kind of thing, she could carry on. It was a street finish. We saw Moira coming in, and I was with our eldest daughter, Jordan. And we were screaming and shouting, calling her name, and she kind of looked at us and gave us a sort of royal wave, but you could see on her face. I said to Jordan, I said, wow, Mom just looked straight through us.
And then I got to the finish line and I didn't stop my watch. So I didn't realize I'd finished the race. And when you're a runner, your time is really important. So yeah, I obviously didn't know that I was at the end. And then I kept on going for another nearly 10 kilometers, yeah.
The finish was
Chaos.
Really poorly set up. And I just think they got it all wrong, the finish. Underestimated the number of people, etc. And the runners are supposed to filter to the left and go towards the club tents that are all on the field. None of us saw her. She somehow got out and headed for the beachfront. And then after about 40 minutes, I thought, no, this is something's definitely wrong. But you can't get into the runners finish area. No one's really understanding the tension and the concern that's building up. Geordie and I had looked through every Portaloo twice or three times. We had looked through all the changes. We'd been across to Moses Mabhida Stadium to look there. We had been to the Medicare tent 3 or 4 times. It's getting dark, so we know there's something not right. And eventually Geordie just burst into tears. You just feel, helpless. How do you lose your runner? You see her across the finish line, how do you lose her? I can't remember the time. It was probably middle of the night.
It's about 2 in the morning.
Might have been 2 in the morning or something like that. We had been looking everywhere. We were driving. People had come in from all over. People had driven in that knew us from Umhlanga and from Durban, and everyone was just finding places to look. And after the fact, you realize that they looked in the very place that Moira was, but obviously the time was wrong. We've just missed her or something like that. I've looked everywhere. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to do. It's 2 o'clock in the morning on the Durban beachfront. It's not exactly the greatest area. And I'm thinking the worst things, unfortunately. So I think, well, I don't want Geordie seeing if she's lying under a bush somewhere. And I think she looked at me and she could see it. And she said, Dad, we're going no further until we've prayed. When you get to a point where you just realize how useless you are, how incapable you are, how powerless you are. There's a passage in the Bible where there's a lady, and as Jesus walks past, she reaches out and just to get a touch of his robe, and you're kind of reaching out just to try and touch that robe and say, please help me, I'm stuck.
It was around about, I think, 7:15, and Daryl got a call from the guy that found me because I was wearing my ICE ID bracelet with all my information on. It was a worker in the harbour, and this particular morning he walked a little bit further than he normally would have. And if he hadn't walked that far, I might have lain there for much longer.
She was literally a foot from the water's edge. That drop, there's no wall, it just goes off into the harbour. So how she didn't fall in there, is to me a miracle. She was doing circles, which you could see on her garment afterwards, until she had collapsed, obviously.
And then I was airlifted to hospital. I know that I was never alone. It wasn't just by chance that I didn't fall in the ocean or something really bad didn't happen to me. God was with me throughout my whole ordeal. It was probably 2 days after I was hospitalized, and they had started taking me out of sedation. I had been on a ventilator. Amy sat there holding my hand, and she was saying, "Mom, come, you can do this, you can breathe." And as she spoke to me, I started breathing 1 breath per minute, then 2, then 3, and when I came around, I wasn't able to speak properly. But I don't know, I just felt this sense of peace. God's love was shown by so many people. We were so blessed. I think it's maybe changed the way I look at other people who are going through difficult times. Yeah, I just want to show love and bless them the way I was blessed.
You get caught up in a lifestyle of busyness and noise. I got to stop sweating the small stuff. I got to start doing the important stuff. I got to start honoring God. He's clearly shown us how He's supported us, how He's loved us, how He's rescued Moira, how He's looked after Moira.
We exist to glorify God, and yeah, I need to tell people about that and glorify His name, because it's only because of Him that I'm here today.